Well, a very good evening here from Atlanta, Georgia, on the southeastern coast of the United States of America, that welcomes the grandest stage of all of world football, one of 16 stages here at this summer's tournament. Well, tonight, beneath the sweeping, rotating roof, one of the game's great powers of international football begins yet another quest for global glory. Meanwhile, one of the tournament's most remarkable stories of all, and it takes its first ever steps onto the world's biggest stage, as the small island nation off the western coast of Africa, Cape Verde, take on the powerhouse and the ever-expectant Spain. Some of the heavy favourites are considered here, alongside France, whereas Cape Verde, they will insist that they are not just here to make up the numbers, that they are here to be a relevant cause for concern for any side that wishes to underestimate them, as they did do just so in their qualifying campaign, with Cameroon feeling the brunt of that intent, topping their group. Well, for Spain, this is the latest chapter in their footballing journey. It has truly transformed a nation. Not just a nation, but also an age group as well. The heartbreaks and the near misses of decades past, that golden generation that conquered South Africa in 2010. Well, there's an exciting new era under Luis de la Fuente. And the reigning champions of Europe arrive here in North America, carrying a lot of expectation, confidence, and perhaps the weightiest burden in all of football, which is the expectation of success at the end of it all. De La Fuente's message, it has been consistent throughout: respect every opponent, dominate every ball, control the rhythm and trust the talent. What talent there is in this Spanish side, in particular by way of the captain, the metronome in the middle in Rodri. Creativity and dedication holding everything between the line, and the experience of Mikel Oyarzabal, striker up top with a tremendous season for Real Sociedad. However, there are a number of key names that are on the bench this afternoon for Luis de la Fuente, most notably the two pacey customers either wing of Nico Williams, and the big emerging star in all football, not just Spanish but also world, in Lamine Yamal. So much already spoken about the defining figures of this generation in Spain, a generation that Luis de la Fuente knows all too well. Well, Unai Simon is in goal tonight for Spain, with a defensive four at the back of Laporte and Kubasi, either side of Cucurella and Llorente. And then a midfield three of Ruiz and Pedri flanking either side of the captain Rodri. And then up top, Oyarzabal, the lone striker, flanked either side by tricky customers with confidence at their feet in Gavi and Ferran Torres. Well, for the man, Pedro Laito Brito, but more commonly known as Babista, he has gone for a mix of experience and youth. And you can't get more experience than goalkeeper Vojna, the 40-year-old eldest player on the team. The first goalkeeper brandishing the name of Cape Verde in the big tournaments that come here in world football. And the central back pairing of Dini Borges and Roberto Lopez, the Irish-born Shamrock Rovers player who took up a call via LinkedIn to join Cape Verde here on the world's biggest stages. And what a call it was to take that up, with Stephen Moira and Sidney Lopez Cabral, the Benfica man, playing the rest of the back four. The midfield five of Kevin Lanini and Laros Duarte will be playing alongside Janeiro Montero, Jovan Cabral, and the captain and Mr. 96, now 97 cap, with the 100th cap firmly in sight if Cape Verde get beyond this group. Ryan Mendes, with the lone striker of Dailon Livramento, relegated from Casapia in the Portuguese league this season, and he will look to make amends here in Atlanta starting tonight. Well, the Spanish bench absolutely littered with potential, none more so than the goalkeepers. Many saying that they truly are the envy of any team at this year's tournament. David Raya and Juan Garcia of Arsenal and Barcelona respectively made quite a formidable series of options off the bench for Luis de la Fuente if needed to be called upon. And that continues all the way along the bench as well, littered with stars. You could even form a couple of 11s out of the possibility of what's happening here. Pubil, Grimaldo, Garcia and Porro options off the bench. In midfield, Martin Zubamendi, excellent season for him this year with Arsenal, alongside another Arsenal man in Mikel Moreno, with Alex Baena, Dani Olmo and Yerim Pino of Crystal Palace also on the bench as options. But none more so than that of Lamine Yamal and Nico Williams, sitting alongside Victor Munoz And the elder statesman in this squad, in Borja Iglesias, 33 years of age, 6th with Celta Vigo this season in the league, nicknamed the Panda. And can he come across potentially off the bench tonight to get some vital minutes under his belt? Well, the referee for the game this evening is the Jordanian Adam Ahmad, here to oversee this group counter opener here tonight. Highly experienced referee with the Asian Cup competitions. And he tonight takes his chance, the 39-year-old here on the world's biggest stages. One side who are full of expectation and have been for months and months of build-up, taking on a side topping their group and really opening up the eyes of the footballing world on the tiny 10-island volcanic nation of Cape Verde. Just over 500,000 people in population. And I'm sure that many of those eyes will be carefully attending here on what they are expecting to be a showpiece situation for them, and it is going to be Cape Verde kicking us off from right to left here in Atlanta in all white. In Spain they will be playing from left to right in their red shirts with dark navy shorts and socks. So welcome tonight to this live audio coverage here from Atlanta, also available via your local broadcasters as well, so do tune in either way, because I'm sure it's going to be a fascinating encounter. Cape Verde surely would have looked at Curacao last night, taking on Germany and getting themselves a leveller. A dream moment for them, but they will be hoping for a far better situation come the scoreline once this game is at its conclusion. But Spain, as to be expected, full of confidence, and in particular they couldn't have asked for a better team to open up this campaign against Spain, with the ball now midway inside of the Cape Verde half. But they will be more than confident keeping the ball amongst themselves with relative ease, encouraging Cape Verde to come ever closer and open up those spaces that they always look to exploit. Already Spain passing the ball brilliantly inside of the Cape Verde half as Cucurella picks up on the ball. That big head of hair of Cucurella, seemingly destined for Real Madrid. Jose Mourinho keeping a close eye on him surely in this tournament. One of the star players for Chelsea this year in the Premier League. And he will look to continue that star-like form here today in Atlanta and across the pond over the coming 6 weeks. Llorente now 10 yards from the right corner of the Cape Verde half. All the Cape Verde players dropping right back, understandably, as well as a long ball played up towards Cucurella. Players looking along the line, and there goes the referee's whistle for an offside on the big-haired Cucurella. A lot of talk throughout the summer after the season had finished of him returning to Barcelona, the club where he started his career at the academy at La Masia. However, it seems to be that the Clásico rivals in Real Madrid, they are the ones who seemingly have got his name under their list for the coming 2026-27 season. What a moment this is for Cape Verde. Excellent numbers here as well in Atlanta. Lots of build-up throughout before this tournament, of ticket sales being tricky to come by. But there are not too many empty seats in the surrounds here in Atlanta this afternoon. It is currently 12 p.m. midday in Atlanta as well. And the roof is closed. Truly is a spectacular stadium in Atlanta as well. The roof closing like the sponsorship on the very top as well, but a ball played right up this right-hand side. The Ferran Torres looks to shield away under pressure from two Cape Verde defenders coming back in. Given the ball away, it seems to have now gone out there for a corner. Borges just coming right in from behind. Dini Borges, relegated in the UAE League with Al Batia earlier this season. A number of the Cape Verde players all plying their trade, every single one of them outside of the domestic lead in Cape Verde. Many playing across Portugal. And now Cape Verde just have the chance now for a goal kick themselves. Just gone short towards Virginia, the elder statesman. There were a number of Cape Verde fans that were hoping to see other goalkeeping options come about, but they do have one in CJ Dos Santos off the bench. Young 25-year-old who plies his trade here in the MLS for San Diego FC. The American League halted for now for the tournament this summer. Only 10th in the Western Division. only got one cap to his name with one clean sheet as well. Compare that to Virginia, 88 caps, now 89th this one this evening to his name, 35 clean sheets as well, making his debut back in 2012. What a chance this is for him. And what a moment of pride it must be for himself and everyone back on those 10 volcanic islands. But so far, Spain are the one who are asking a lot of the questions. Plenty of the ball, as expected, inside of Cape Verde's half in the opening 5 or so minutes here on the southeastern coastlines in America. And the ball all the way back towards Unai Simon in bright blue. Patient build-up needed for these two teams today, in particular for Cape Verde to not get too heavily expectant to charge further forward. That would surely allow Spain on and encourage them forward. Saudi Arabia take on Uruguay later on today in this group. So a chance for Spain to establish themselves early on in the tournament. Remarkable stat, the read earlier, that Spain haven't won a single knockout game since their success in 2010. Truly remarkable, and surely one that they're going to have to try and alleviate here if they wish to get themselves to the final. So much expectancy for Spain. And it all starts with Torres now playing a short ball up this right-hand side, but poorly read in the end by Fabian Ruiz, given straight towards the Cape Verde players, holding their own in the corner. Deflection off of Ferran Torres and out for a Cape Verde throw-in midway inside their own half on this near channel. The Blue Sharks at the moment, although they've been defending quite deeply for the first 5 minutes or so of this game, they are playing with relative confidence as well, and I'm sure that their manager Babista, the former Cape Verde international, will be pleased with what he's seen in the opening few minutes here from the island nation off the western African coast. They were in fact going to be the smallest nation to have qualified by land area until Curaçao took that spot from them just 5 weeks later, as Spain play a dangerous ball into the box but far too near, wayward to the post, with Virginia just clambering onto the ball himself to give that one under real close control. Cape Verde so far all of the ball very much inside of their own half, as Cape Verde send a long ball up the right-hand channel, taking a touch off of Cucurella, going out for a Cape Verde throw-in 10 yards inside their own half on the right-hand side of the field. Thrown straight back towards the middle, with Kevin Lanini playing a short pass back instead towards Roberto Lopez. A thick Irish accent, speaking proudly on talk shows in the build-up to the tournament just a few weeks ago about how he got that call up via LinkedIn. Incredible story of him, captain of Shamrock Rovers as well. 355 matches played for them and 172 for Bohemians. And ever present in Ireland's top division. As Cape Verde look to try and get the ball inside of the Spain half for the first time, but yet excellent defending in the end there from Aymeric Laporte. Always a cool, calm customer. One of a number of players in the Spanish squad that ply their trade for Athletic Club up in the Basque region. As Laporte now on the ball on the halfway line, left-hand side of the centre circle, short pass into the captain Rodri, 1-2 back towards Laporte. Laporte, ball out now, midway inside the Cape Verde half towards Cucurella. And all the way back instead towards Laporte. Cape Verde players dropping deep in a cluster formation of a 5 and a 5, and a long ball played into the Cape Verde half. As Cape Verde try and clamber onto the ball themselves now, with Kevin Lanini under pressure from Gavi deep inside of that corner of the field, and Gavi was looking straight towards the referee there, Makdamed, to try and get a foul coming his way, but the referee thinking otherwise, blowing play on as quickly as he possibly could. Very much the case here in the football at the moment now, with the new rules and the changes coming in. They want to see the speed of play continued. This referee, the Jordanian, certainly seeming to do that, quick to usher Gavi back up to his feet. The Spain look to come yet again now at the left-hand side, midway inside the Cape Verde half. Short pass played up towards Cucurella, 10 yards from the left corner of the penalty area, back towards as Laporte, chip ball up to Cucurella, but again, brilliant read in the middle there from Roberto Lopez. As Rodri under a little bit of pressure now there from the pace of Jovan Cabral, but finding Marcos Llorente on this near side. Impressive season for Llorente as well, with Atletico Madrid, earning his place in Spain's starting lineup this evening. I'm sure that De La Fuente is going to be hoping that the side can get the job done without the need to bring on some of those players on the bench, most notably Nico Williams and Lamine Yamal, come back from injury, keep them fresh for other games that are coming, most notably the one against Uruguay. Many looking forward to that game, myself included. The long ball easily dealt with there by Aymeric Laporte, as Livramento is still down at the moment, slow to get back up to his feet just inside of the Spanish half. The play now allowed to continue with the captain Rodri, that shirt tucked in tight beneath those shorts, played short instead now towards Pedri, carrying the ball up this right hand side, but a poor pass in the middle as Cape Verde look to break away themselves. Llorente getting the body in front, but the referee not thinking otherwise for Cabral, going down far too easily. Rodri now midway inside of the Cape Verde half, short to the left towards Pedri, further left still towards Laporte. As Laporte squares the ball in the middle towards Pedri, dead centre of the Cape Verde half, out to this right hand side. Ferran Torres finds the run of Llorente up towards the byline on the right hand side, but the slide tackle in there in the end from Jovan Cabral, just getting a big foot in front. That's going to go out for a corner for Spain, the first corner of the game here. 10 minutes gone, Spain 0, Cape Verde 0. Many thinking this is the perfect chance and the opponent for Spain to get things underway in the tournament this summer. Live here from Atlanta. And this corner to be taken on this near side of the field. A right-footed ball swung in by Pedri away from the goal towards the near post. Far too easy though at the front of the 6-yard areas. Cape Verde look to try and break away themselves, and they do send a long ball up for Livramento to chase, but far too heavy instead as Llorente gets himself comfortably onto the ball and goes straight towards the captain Rodri. Impressive season from Rodri again, the Manchester City man. Plenty though of links sending him back to Spain. Links to Real Madrid in particular. But I'm sure a lot of that will be destined and sorted out after the tournament in 5 weeks' time, as Spain now have the ball yet again deep down this right-hand side. Pedri in towards the box, over the head of Virginia, but just at the back post there. Stephen Moira just heading the ball away under real pressure. So far, Cape Verde doing all the defensive duty. Spain come yet again, ball in towards the box, but Virginia gets a big hand in front before Ferran Torres, lurking in at the back post, can claim ownership of the ball. So far defensively, Dini Borges and Roberto Lopez, brilliant from them two so far, working tirelessly in the opening minutes here in Atlanta. I'm sure that plenty back in Cape Verde, regardless of the scoreline today, are going to be proud of whatever comes their way, but so far I'm sure they're going to be delighted, as will Babito. This live audio coverage here from Atlanta. You can also watch the game on your local broadcasting channels as well. As Cape Verde have the ball now. First little bit of spell of their time on the ball in this game, inside of their own half. Yet to have a touch of the ball inside of the Spanish half. What they would give to change that at the moment. Plenty of pressure and gone all the way back towards Virginia instead. Playing a ball out to the right-hand channel. Still inside their own half, Cape Verde looking to open up space with a good piece of passing now at the moment. Their best spell of time on the ball at the moment. Spain chasing as a long ball played up for Livramento to chase, but straight towards Unai Simon. Livramento arms out wide, down in the box, but the referee again thinking very little of that. So far, both Laporte and Kubasi, very little to do for them. Kubasi very much the future of Spanish national team football, the 19-year-old. There's Ferran Torres now, midway inside the Cape Verde half. Heavy touch though, giving the ball away cheaply, trying to wrestle away to win the ball back and putting good pressure under. A Spanish throw-in now here, midway inside the Cape Verde half on this nearer channel. And the Blue Sharks, well, they're going to have to be shark-like if they're going to get anything out of this game tonight. Against the ever-expectant threat of Spain. Constantly falling short in tournaments though, and in particular the big one. Domestically, a lot more successful, 4 European titles to their name, but globally, just the one in 2010 in South Africa. Many feeling that surely this is the year that they can add a second star above that badge, putting them equally alongside France as the hot favourites to lift the trophy in New York on the 19th of July. Cucurella now, midway inside the Cape Verde half. As the ball has been sprayed out to this right-hand channel. Llorente, plenty of space, squared short to the left towards Kubasi. And finding Fabian Ruiz instead as Pedri likes to play a ball out wide. The one in the air by the captain, Ryan Mendes, and noticing the foul there. It's going to be a free kick for Cape Verde, midway inside of their own half. 15 minutes gone here in Atlanta. Spain 0, Cape Verde 0. Not quite the electric start that Spain would have expected against that Germany had against Curaçao. Many feeling that is exactly the type of attitude that Spain need to adopt here tonight, taking no prisoners against the side that they feel they have a lot more to offer from. Spain second in the world against Cape Verde 67th. Only really became a FIFA qualified nation back in 1978, gaining independence from Portugal in 1975. So what a moment this is for them and the entire nation, but that's cheaply given away as Spain have the ball off the edge of the area. Pedri from range, but down, far too easy to deal with there for Virginia. No real pace, all of that lacking from Pedri once it left the right foot of the Barcelona man. As Virginia more than comfortable to pick that one up himself. Still yet for Cape Verde to get themselves a notable touch on the ball in the half, but that's been cheaply given away again by the Blue Sharks. But poor pass onwards there from Pedri straight towards Ruben Lopez, and now Cape Verde have the chance to break, but Cabral with a heavy touch, moving away further still instead as Ferran Torres comes along, and Sidney Cabral is going to get himself a yellow card here actually from the referee, Macadma. Just brought down Llorente as he was breaking away up this right-hand side and almost took out Babista in the process as well. Babista had to move sharp. Good reflexes there from the former Cape Verde centre-back, 56 years of age. Sidney Lopez Cabral is the first name to enter the referee's book here on the 16th minute. Just going in there through Llorente, just pushing him down right in front of the fourth official as well, who was quick on the mark to let the man in the middle know exactly what he'd seen. But that free kick is taken short instead. Spain have the ball yet again inside of this Cape Verde half, played out to the right-hand channel towards Llorente. Laid up to the byline with Ferran Torres, turning off the edge of the area, back into Llorente, right edge of the box. Big tackle there though from Cabral as Cape Verde clear the ball away up this near side. And they surely won't be able to hold on for the full 90 minutes here, Cape Verde. If it continues in this vein, it surely is only a matter of time until Spain find that first goal, and then the floodlights and the floodgates truly could open up then. As Kubasi squares to the left-hand side towards Cucurella. Cucurella further out to the left-hand channel and played back in the centre circle towards Laporte. Laporte, the experienced centre-back alongside the young, youthful future of Spain, finding Kubasi on the right. Played instead towards Llorente, threading a ball up to the right-hand channel. As Fabian Ruiz gets a big foot in front, interception away there. And he's going to go out for a throw-in for Cape Verde deep inside their own half on this nearer channel. Borges looking to play a ball up the line, but a big foot in front from the low-socked Fabian Ruiz. As Luis de la Fuente closely keeping an eye on proceedings, leaning seemingly casually against the dugout below. But I'm sure beneath those glasses there's plenty going on and whirring in the mind of the man who has risen through the ranks of Spanish youth team football through the years, with success coming at every level. And what he would give to find global success on top of domestic success for the senior team for Spain. Laporte now, left edge of the centre circle, carries the ball in towards that Cape Verde half under little pressure whatsoever. 1-2 inside with Rodri. The two Manchester City linked players. As Pedri carries the ball across to this near side of the field, laying short towards Kubasi. 1-2 back towards Pedri, turning in the centre of the park. Labelled as Pedri Potter by the former Spanish manner Luis Enrique. A wonderful season for him, in particular for Barcelona, as well as having the honour of the stand-in captain. 43 matches played with 12 assists across all competitions this season for Pedri. So in fine form and looking to bring that towards Spain as well. Cucurella short towards the captain Rodri, playing a ball up long towards the right-hand edge of the penalty area, back in towards the box, over the head of Oyarzabal. Quiet customer so far. Fabian Ruiz winding up the volley from range, but fortunately miss-kicking, but falling back to the feet of the number 8. Cucurella, 5 yards off the left corner of the box. 1-2 back towards the big head. Cucurella instead, as Spain look to come yet again. Plenty of time still on the ball for Spain. La Roja, full control, effort from range, deflecting though, far too short and wayward that one there from Fabian Ruiz. No real guidance whatsoever on the effort from range. Must have been about 25 yards out, as that one goes up for a goal kick. Instead, Kabasi there with that shot, but Fabian Ruiz getting right in front of that opportunity from the Barcelona centre-back. As we are 20 minutes gone here in Atlanta, still goalless between Spain and Cape Verde. Cape Verde yet to have a touch of the ball inside of the Spanish half. It's been 20 minutes so far. Unai Simon could have got the deck chair out by this rate as it stands. But understandable as well, given the David and Goliath-esque nature of the game today. Starting a full packed set of games here in the World Cup. It's been an excellent opener as well. That wonderful game last night between the Netherlands and Japan. That one, many believing, myself included, to be the standout game of the tournament so far. A very difficult one to call as well. Rodri short to the right-hand side towards Kabasi. Midway inside of the Cape Verde half, out to the right-hand channel. Ferran Torres in towards the box, headed away instead by Borges. As Cabral needs to be careful, turning inside of his own area on this left-hand side, short towards Sidney Lopez Cabral. Ball inside, deflection off of the Spanish man, going out for a Cape Verde throw-in. This one 10 yards from the corner flag on this nearer channel. As Cape Verde still continue to keep themselves pinned in. Roberto Lopez with a good, cool chest down inside of his own box towards Virginia, carries the ball up under feet. No need to pick up on the ball though, as Lopez squares to this near side, finding Dini Borges. 1-2 back towards the centre-back. Needs to be careful. Chip ball back instead there towards Mendes. As Roberto Lopez plays the ball up to the right-hand side. Cape Verde with their first touch on the ball inside of the Spanish half. Looking to bring the ball out to this left-hand side. Long ball up towards Jovan Cabral. 5 yards from the left corner of the box. Llorente standing nearest to Cabral. Short pass back towards Duarte, carrying the ball to the left edge of the area. Chipped across the face of the box. But Rodri in the middle just carrying that ball off with the header. And up goes the assistant's flag on the far side, spotting the offside. It's going to be a free kick for Spain, deep inside their own half. So Cape Verde's first touches of the ball inside of the Spanish half come on the 22nd minute, which means that we will soon be seeing the as to be expected hydration breaks coming in any minute shortly. As Llorente plays a short pass squared towards Kabasi. Plenty feeling that the hydration breaks aren't totally needed, given some of the games are played indoors, like this one, as we saw in Dallas as well. It's quite cool apparently in Dallas. They didn't feel the need for a hydration break, but that one will be imminently coming in this game. Ball sprayed out to the right hand side towards Ferran Torres. Llorente laying a ball up towards the edge of the byline, looking to keep the ball alive there. Pedri, but the ball sliding out of play, instead going out for a goal kick. As there does go the referee's signal for the hydration break that is going to be between 2 to 3 minutes in length. This one here on the 23rd minute in Atlanta. The scoreline: Spain 0, Cape Verde 0. And as both sets of players make their way towards the dugout, the Cape Verde fans in the stand behind up to their feet, joyantly bouncing on the right-hand side of the Cape Verde dugout. It is an absolute sea of bright red in Atlanta, very akin to the colour of the team that plies their train here, the Atlanta Hawks. Well, the Falcons, sorry. But so far, Cape Verde can hold their head high, because they are going toe-to-toe with one of the world's very best teams. The side fully expectant and lifting that bright golden trophy come the end of the season. Or of the tournament, sorry, but so far Cape Verde are frustrating them at the back. And in particular, both centre-backs, Dini Borges and Roberto Lopez, they at the moment are the ones who were causing real concern, in particular for Mikel Oyarzabal, who I think I've counted has only had 2 touches on the ball in the entirety of the first half. A half dominated by Spain, 69% possession to the 31 of Cape Verde. But just the 1 shot on target for Spain. Again, defensively, Moreira, Lopez, Borges and Cabral working brilliantly alongside one another, and Lanini and Duarte coming back and offering in support. I'm fairly sure then that Babista will be pleased with what he's seen so far, as De La Fuente now sending his team back out, huddled around the Spanish manager. Many feeling that the hydration breaks aren't quite fulfilling their purpose in the sense of a hydration break, but almost splitting the game into quarters, a very Americanized way of doing football. You've got the half, but then they're almost breaking it into quarters instead. With many feeling that the hydration breaks really do stop any continual momentum for the side that are on top, and it's almost like a way to get those instructions further forward, even more importantly than half-time itself. But De La Fuente will so far be looking to keep some of those big aces on the bench sitting there come the full-time whistle. But if it continues in this vein, he might need to look towards the likes of Lamine Yamal and Nico Williams to throw a little bit of something extra into this game. As the hydration break is now coming to its end, with both sets of teams getting back into formation from when the hydration break was called. Play will resume with a goal kick for Cape Verde. So with that, there will be minimal, usually it seems to be 3 minutes of time added on at the end of each half. So play now ready to resume here on the 26th minute. That goal kick taken short towards Virginia, who sends a ball long up towards the centre circle. Heavy touch though as Montero keeps the ball alive in Cape Verde white. Roberto Lopez up the right hand side towards Moreira. The run not being found of Ryan Mendes, charging up the right hand side of the field with the ball all the way back towards Dini Borges, carrying the ball now up towards the halfway line for yet another few rare touches of the ball for Cape Verde in the Spanish half. Sidney Cabral under pressure from Ferran Torres, back towards Borges instead. As Borges right-footed crossfield ball up the right-hand side of the field. The captain, Ryan Mendes, wonderful touch. Cucurella shielding nearest to. Chipped up towards the edge of the area now as Cape Verde look to come with Moreira. But a ball into the box deflected out. It's going to be a Cape Verde throw-in. Level with the edge of the Spanish penalty area on the right-hand side of the field. So a first real chance potentially for them to get a dangerous throw-in in towards the box as Moreira sends the ball up towards the byline with the captain Ryan Mendes played back towards the man with the throw, Moreira, shielding the ball away from Gavi. Ball in towards that back post as Cabral can't quite outstretch that right leg of his, and Ferran Torres comes across instead to carry the ball up this right-hand channel, looking to break away from Cabral. Right-footed in towards the Cape Verde half, but headed with ease from Dini Borges as Livramento looks to pick up on that laid ball but couldn't quite get onto the timing as Llorente picks up on that loose ball. Spain with the ball now in the centre circle, the captain Rodri carrying up into the Cape Verde half, feigning and looking to go right, going short instead towards Pedri, and further still to Fabian Ruiz, played out to this right hand side of the penalty area. Spain 1-2 on the ball themselves. Wonderful interception there though from Kevin Lanini. Jovan Cabral under some pressure has to get the ball away, does just in time to Borges, but this is some good pressure from Spain back towards Virginia. Oyarzabal is nearest to as Virginia takes no chances, sending the ball long. Wonderful distribution with the ball played up but cheaply given away instead. Referee was going to give a foul for a handball, that one on Jovan Cabral. But Spain look to switch the ball now up this left-hand side of the field. Laporte carrying the ball midway inside that Cape Verde half, threaded up towards Cucurella, left edge of the area, short in towards the box, shot and deflection right in the way there as Cape Verde get big bodies in front of Spain trying to take possession and advantage of spaces opening up in the Cape Verde third. Rodri, 1-2, out towards Pedri. Pedri 10 yards from the left side of the Cape Verde penalty area. Now continue with the ball out towards Cucurella inside of the box. First time fallen to Cucurella on the volley, but high over the bar. And that's Spain. Venomous effort from Cucurella. So far looking the most potent threat for Spain in this game. But that volley just catching off of the deflection from Morea, sailing over the bar as soon as it left the right foot of the Chelsea man. As we are now half an hour into this game, goalless between Spain and Cape Verde. This live audio coverage from Atlanta, also available via local broadcasting stations as well. Here in Atlanta, this space-age stadium, one of a number in the tournament this summer. LA and Dallas most notably. And this one alongside them in terms of futuristic. Very much a far cry, they must almost feel, from the Estadio Nacional Cabo Verde in Praia. And Vizinha just comes across there under pressure there. Worked well with Dini Borges just shielding the ball away from Ferran Torres. As the two centre-backs for Cape Verde continuing working brilliantly alongside one another to stop any form of threat from the front three for Spain. But so far, Oyarzabal and Gavi in particular having very little to show for in this game. Ferran Torres so far seeing most of the ball up this right-hand side. As Cape Verde under a little bit of pressure themselves go all the way back again to Virginia. I'm unsure if Unai Simon really has had more than one or two touches of the ball through passes. So far the scoreline is the most important stat of all, but that's poorly given away by Roberto Lopez as Spain now look to counter themselves with Ferran Torres laid up towards the right edge of the area towards Oyarzabal, under pressure from Cape Verde players coming back looking to take the ball away from the Sociedad man. Heavy touch outwards though, and it goes out for a Cape Verde throw in. Oyarzabal feeling that he should have had a little bit more. Sidney Lopez Cabral amps up that bright pocket of blue in this right hand corner in Atlanta. Excellent pressure there from the Benfica man. He will be moving actually to Trabzonspor after the tournament. £6 million move coming for him. But first of all, the likes of Spain, Uruguay and Saudi Arabia to deal with before he can think about heading out to Turkey, to the side that breached the Istanbul 3. Finishing third this campaign, Trabzonspor. As Cape Verde give the ball away yet again, this time up the further side of the field. Morea looking to play the ball long. As Pedri dinks a ball out to the right-hand side of the field here with Llorente just inside of the Cape Verde half. Played short towards Fabian Ruiz. Squared to the left towards Rodri. The captain, short ball inside towards Cabase and out to this right-hand channel. Llorente, short inside, midway inside the Cape Verde half, building up at their own pace yet again. But Cape Verde, wonderful interception there from Guerrero Montero. The central midfield man jumping in on the defensive duties. Cape Verde keeping the ball amongst themselves inside of their own area, played out to the right-hand side with Morea. Back towards Lopez, inside of his own box with plenty of space. Cross the edge of the area towards Dini Borges with a cute keep-up touch and action there. Feeling a little bit flirtatious inside of his own half. Needs to be careful against Spain. As the ball has gone back towards Virginia, laid up instead now towards Kevin Lanini, sending a long ball up, looking for the captain Ryan Mendes, but the assistant's flag up sharply right in front of the captain. And it is going to be a Spanish free kick midway inside their own half, up the further side of the field. Unai Simon with a rare touch there on the ball. Ryan Mendes just a glancing offside movement, looking to break away from Cucurella with that long ball. The longest serving player on the team, Ryan Mendes, 2010, his debut. This is 97th cap for the captain. Most goals in the squad as well, 22 goals to his name. The man that sits top of the tree and a real Cape Verde legend already. 36 years of age. And what he would give to lead his team to a victory in this tournament. in particular against Spain. Ferran Torres laying a heavy ball onwards instead as Cape Verde look to break away and giving away a free kick there. Ferran Torres just taking out there at the last moment on Cabral. Once more than just a free kick, looking for a yellow card potentially for the way of Ferran Torres. Cabral just being caught there as he looked to break away from the Barcelona man. And he refers to himself as the Shark. Before this earlier, he fit in perfectly with Cape Verde. Just changed his name to the Blue Shark as again Cabral wins another free kick off of Ferran Torres. Maybe frustrations creeping in a little bit here for Spain, as we have 10 minutes to go of the regulation 45 in this first half. Still goalless between the number 2 ranked team in the world and the number 67th ranked team in the world. There are 10 teams from Africa in the tournament this summer, and they're ranked 13th in Africa as well. So the number of teams sitting ahead of them that aren't even at the tournament this summer. But so far Cape Verde are certainly opening their account towards a little bit more of an extension. A long shot there from range from Livramento from the halfway line, nowhere near troubling Unai Simon or the Spanish goal, and going out for a goal kick for Spain. Livramento just turning and having a go from inside of the own centre circle in his own half. Wildly ambitious from Livramento. Daniel Livramento relegated with Casapia in Portugal this summer as well. Man who scored the goal against Cameroon in qualifying. That really put their sights on automatic qualification for the tournament this summer. Already an icon in Cape Verde across those 10 volcanic islands in the Atlantic Ocean off the West African coast. There's Laporte now, midway inside the Cape Verde half, squared to the right towards Kabasi, and played further out to this right-hand side towards the full-back Llorente. Back inside towards the 19-year-old, finding the ball in the middle there towards Pedri, chipped up towards Cucurella, left edge of the area, into the box. Can they get the ball away? And it's a shot and palmed over the bar. Well read there from Vojinha, just palming the ball over to get the ball out of play for a corner. But the assistant's flag on this near side has been raised as they're looking for an offside potentially there on Cucurella. With the ball played up from Pedri, and Cucurella just about straying into an offside position. So the effort there wouldn't have counted in the end from Pedri. Caught the ball brilliantly, but Vojinha took no chances and palming the ball over the crossbar. That would have been called away for an offside instead. Well marshalled by the Jordanian assistant on this near side as Cape Verde win themselves a free kick just inside of the Spanish half on this near side. Llorente, the guilty party, shrugging towards the referee, just bringing down Livramento coming in from behind. So Cape Verde now with a free kick 5 yards inside the Spanish half off this near side of the field, as they are now looking to send this one potentially long. There is a couple of options nearby, and Cabral does find the fellow Jovan Cabral on this near left-hand side, carrying the ball towards the left edge of the area, taking a shot from range, but going well over the bar. Head in hands moment there for Jovan Cabral, understandably so as well, as that one sailed a good 7 or 8 yards over Unai Simon's crossbar. And going up for a goal kick instead. Well, surely Babista's going to be the happier of the two managers at the moment. Still plenty of time for this game to change its current fortunes of a goalless scoreline. You would anticipate Spain to eventually find the breakthrough given the amount of pressure they're putting on Cape Verde. But at the moment the Islanders are holding their nerve as it stands, as Ferran Torres plays a short ball instead towards Llorente and towards the captain Rodri, and played back out to the Ferran Torres, hugging this right hand side of the field towards Kabasi, centre of the Cape Verde half. As Pedri plays a 1-2 now back towards Pedri, 10 yards from the edge of the area, ball out towards the left hand side of the box towards Cucurella. As the port squared infield towards Fabian Ruiz. Plenty of Cape Verde players dropping deep inside of their own penalty area. Ferran Torres plays towards Pedri, edge of the box, looking to open up a shot here. Pedri, Fabian Ruiz chipping the ball out towards Cucurella, who heads the ball back towards Laporte in plenty of space. Off of the halfway line, still inside the Cape Verde half. Played back towards Cucurella. Midway inside the Cape Verde half. Spain looking to come yet again, continuing to put the pressure on the Cape Verde third. Rodri, 10 yards from the edge of the box, chipping a ball up into the area towards Cucurella, headed back across, and there's Ferran Torres. It's come off the bar. Oyarzabal and Virginia palming the ball over for a corner. Wonderful read from the 40-year-old. Oyarzabal felt that was the moment where the header was going to guide into the back of the Cape Verde net. Ferran Torres first of all hitting the bar, Oyarzabal's looping header, but Virginia reading the ball, palming over the crossbar. And no wonder all of the Cape Verde players surrounded the experienced goalkeeper. There's going to be a corner now for Spain. This one to be taken on the further side. Their first corner from the left side of the field. Spain look to get plenty of numbers into the box. That's so close to be the moment where the goal was going to finally be breached here in Atlanta. But Virginia reading the header from Oyarzabal brilliantly. Onto the 40th minute of the game. Goalless at the moment, still stands that way. 5 minutes of the 45 to go in this first half. It's going to be now this corner taken in from the right, swung into the near post, headed away though. Cape Verde still having to do a little bit of work themselves. Pedri feigning a ball back into the box towards the edge of the area. Rodri, 1 foot ball inside towards Fabian Ruiz, off the edge of the area. Ruiz, and that's a high wayward shot there from the Spanish number 8, going well wide for a goal kick. De La Fuente turns away in frustration towards his bench. Ferran Torres hitting the bar just moments ago, and Oyarzabal's header couldn't quite find the back of the net, instead finding the big right hand of Virginia, just palming the ball over and away. Spain felt that was surely the moment where the deadlock would be broken. But Cape Verde keep their hopes alive of claiming what is currently going to be a precious point in this group. Against the side many put alongside France in terms of expectancy of lifting the trophy in New York City on July the 19th. As Pedri carries the ball, sending a ball up in towards the left side of the field, but beyond the touch of Cucurella, going out for a Cape Verde throw-in midway inside their own half up the further side of the field. So far, Virginia, the man who has had the most to do in this game, and cheaply given away yet again for Cape Verde. Spain looking to come once more. Rodri, edge of the box to the left side, played towards the edge of the area, but Fabian Ruiz can't quite get there first as Cabral looks to break away. And is this a chance for Cape Verde to maybe catch Spain on the counter? Cabral bursting a run up the left-hand side of the field. Ryan Mendes squared to the right. Ball just off the edge of the Spanish penalty area. Looking to break further into the box is Montero. Right edge of the box, heaving a ball away from Cucurella, but far too heavy of a touch. Straight towards Unai Simon. As Cape Verde look to break away themselves with plenty of pace, in particular from Sidney Cabral, bursting up the left-hand side of the field. But Ryan Mendes cutting into the right instead. Spain very nearly there, punished potentially for that moment missed for themselves just moments ago, as Llorente has the ball now, midway inside the Cape Verde half, squared towards Fabian Ruiz and played back towards Kabasi. The captain Rodri off of his own centre circle inside the Cape Verde half, played now towards Llorente, or to Laporte. Laporte squared in the middle towards Pedri. Wonderful footwork there from Pedri, the Barcelona man. Squared towards Fabian Ruiz and further to the right edge of the area towards Llorente. Oyarzabal now coming back, getting a little bit more time on the ball, isolated in the first half an hour of the game as Cucurella has the ball off the left edge of the box. Play back instead towards the captain Rodri, finding Pedri dead centre of the Cape Verde half. As we're now just 2 minutes away from seeing how much time is going to be added by the fourth official at the end of the first half. Pedri 5 yards from the edge of the area, carrying the ball towards the left edge of the box towards Ferran Torres. 1-2 back towards Pedri, turning in the edge of the area. Plenty of arms raised by the Cape Verde defenders, and rightly so, as the assistant's flag is raised yet again on this near side. And I've got to say, defensively, I think that Cape Verde have been absolutely superb this afternoon here in Atlanta. Lopez, Borges, Moreira and Cabral in front of the man who has so far been the reason why this is a 0-0 scoreline in Virginia, have made their country surely immensely proud with the work rate they've shown against one of football's finest nations. So much expectancy on the shoulders of Spain with every tournament they play in, but none more so than this one. As Cape Verde look to break away now with the ball, midway inside of the Spanish half. Montero played up towards Cabral, 5 yards from the left edge of the area. Cabral searching ball towards the further side of the box, but finding no one but the byline and going out for a goal kick instead for Spain. Cape Verde holding their own at the moment against Spain. Now into the final minute of the 45 of this first half. There will be at least 3 minutes of time added on for the hydration break allowance. As Kabasi plays a ball across the Cape Verde centre circle towards Laporte. Threading a wonderful ball up to Pedri, further still towards the left edge of the area. Cucurella into the box, Ferran Torres, and a wonderful save from Virginia down to the right-hand side. They've got to be wondering what on earth they have to do to breach the 40-year-old this afternoon. Ferran Torres with a low-driven shot, but far too close to the right side of Virginia. Excellent performance from the man between the sticks for Cape Verde, but again cheaply given away. Still with work to do. Spain with the ball now, left edge of the box, slide tackle in, and a big tackle there from Roberto Lopez, catching off of Pedri last, and that one goes out for a goal kick for Cape Verde. And it is going to be 4 minutes of time added on. Roberto Lopez sliding in expertly on Pedri in the box. Always a risky move, that one. But Virginia again to the rescue for Cape Verde. He would have seen that late as well. Dini Borges seemingly right in the pathway of Virginia's sight of vision. But going down brilliantly to his right to stop that one from nestling into the back of the net. Spain so far seemingly the most likely to break the deadlock here. As they come yet again, midway inside of the Cape Verde half towards Torres. Torres back towards Llorente. Cabase across the centre circle now with the ball inside of the Cape Verde half as they come yet again. With Laporte on the ball, the two centre-backs, experience and youth alongside one another. The baton almost certainly being passed this evening and throughout this tournament as well. Pau Cabasi making his debut in 2024 as well, still relatively new to the scene but known very much so by De La Fuente. He's grown with many of this team and he will look to continue that growth for the coming years as well, as the ball has been played in towards the box, but a brilliant interception just getting in the way there with the ball dropping down to Llorente. As Montero gets a big foot in front, it is going to go out for a Spanish corner to be taken on this nearer side. There's nearly 2 minutes of the minimum 4 have been played at the end of this first half, and is this going to be the moment where Spain can finally break the deadlock here in Atlanta? They've had a number of chances already yet to be taken. It is going to be Pedri, right-footed, into the edge of the centre of the 6-yard area. And Virginia again diving down towards the right post. Laporte rising highest with the header. As Virginia just palms the ball around the other side of the right post. And that one seemingly, potentially hitting the post itself, but Virginia could take no chances whatsoever. And it goes out for yet another corner for Spain. This is their fourth corner of the game, swung in towards that near post. One well from Cape Verde at that near post, still with the ball deep inside their own half. But Cucurella can't quite get that ball away himself, and swiping the ball out for a Cape Verde throw-in. Midway inside their own half up the further channel. What a performance from the man between the sticks for Cape Verde. 40 years of age, this is 89th cap for country. And as it stands, he's going to be adding his 36th clean sheet to that as well. Unless Spain can find a way to get past this resilient Cape Verde team. Now into the final minute of the minimum 4. Rodri, cross-field ball up to Cucurella, chesting down beautifully off the left-hand touchline. Finding Laporte. with the ball in the centre of the Cape Verde half. Ferran Torres laying up to the right edge of the box. Llorente chipping a ball to the back post, and the ball now just being guided out instead. Oyarzábal's header nowhere near the target, as Dini Borges just shields the ball out for a Cape Verde goal kick. Just seconds remaining of this first half. A truly dominant display in terms of possession and time on the ball in the opposition's half. But the famous old saying of the scoreline in the top left-hand corner is the one that matters most, and that does read 0-0 between Spain and Cape Verde. As Virginia now looking to send this goal kick long, as all eyes now turn to the referee for the whistle to be blown, and there goes the half-time whistle, where it is Spain 0, Cape Verde 0. Spain with plenty of time on the ball inside of the Cape Verde half, and in particular in the Cape Verde third. But the defensive quartet of Mireia Lopez, Borges and Cabral are working wonderfully in front of the so far iron-like resilience of Virginia. Spain still with plenty to do and plenty to consider for Luis de la Fuente. But it will be Babista the happier of the two managers, as both sets of players now make their way down the tunnel here below in Atlanta. Is Spain 0, Cape Verde 0. And we'll bring you the rest of this live audio coverage here from Atlanta just before the second half begins. The game also available via local broadcasting channels as well. So we'll resume this service in just over 10 minutes' time. tunnels here, where the score is currently Spain 0, Cape Verde 0. It's been a truly outstanding performance defensively from the small island nation off the western coast of Africa, and it has left Spain scratching their heads so far, trying to figure out the best possible way to breach the resilience of Cape Verde's defence, and in particular their goalkeeper Virginia, who's been a real ever-present threat and an iron curtain between the sticks for Cape Verde here in Atlanta. And it is Spain that will be getting us back underway, kicking from right to left in their red shirts with navy sleeves, navy shorts and navy socks. Cape Verde kicking from left to right in their all-white strip. No changes seemingly made by either side at half-time, but I'm sure plenty of words spoken of encouragement from Babista, but surely in terms of improvement for De La Fuente. Must have been left scratching his head. A couple of real glorious chances towards the end of the first half for Spain to take the lead here against Cape Verde. But so far, the side who are impressing the world in that first half performance are looking to continue that, but the captain now, Rodri, just one short touch to the left-hand side with Spain on the ball midway inside of the Cape Verde half. Unai Simon in goal then for Spain, with Llorente, Cabasi, Laporte and Cucurella at the back. And then Pedri, Rodri and Ruiz in the midfield, with Oyarzabal up front, flanked either side by Ferran Torres and Gavi. And they might need to look towards the bench with the names such as Lamine Yamal and Nico Williams lingering in the shadows. They might need to grace the surface here in Atlanta if Spain are going to find the breakthrough, but the ball easily gathered by Virginia inside of their own penalty area, looking for Gavi long. Gavi's been very quiet in this game so far. Fewest touches of any player in the game from Gavi up the left-hand side of the field. Barcelona man has wrestled with injury issues over recent years, a cruciate ligament injury in particular. Would have seen this as the perfect way to get back into national team favours, but so far quiet in this game. As Cucurella throws the ball to the captain Rodri for Cape Verde. No changes either, with Virginia in goal, Cabral, Borges, Lopez and Moreira at the back, with Mendes, Lanini, Cabral, Montero and Duarte in the midfield and Livramento up top. But Cape Verde again having to get used to the formalities of the first half, transitioning into the second, with Spain on the ball inside of their own half for large spells of the game here in Atlanta. Cabasi short to the right edge of the area towards Llorente, carrying the ball away, shielded by two players in Cape Verde white. As Laporte now has the ball, played up towards the edge of the area, turning on a dive from Fabian Ruiz, played out towards Pedri, left edge of the box. Just trying to open up some space to get a ball into the area. Good ball inside. Oh, it's a foul, but a poor header. But Spain keep the ball alive with Llorente. Right edge of the area, played back towards the edge of the box. A shot from range. And that one just goes over Virginia's crossbar. The shot there from Fabian Ruiz. He certainly does have a long-range finish firmly within his locker. But that time couldn't quite guide the ball inside of the resilient Cape Verde goal. Fabian Ruiz winding up a shot there with his left foot. That one just a yard or two over the upright of the Cape Verde crossbar. As Cape Verde look to play the ball, but again cheaply given away straight towards Ferran Torres in the centre of the Cape Verde half. As Rodri keeps the ball alive in Spanish bright red. Played towards Llorente, Cabase across the centre circle towards Laporte with a 1-2 back towards the 19-year-old. The future, the centre-back of Spain and Barcelona. As that's wonderful piece of interchange of passing. Gavi short towards Fabian Ruiz off the edge of the area. But Montero wins the ball back brilliantly for Cape Verde. But again, as has been the pattern in this game, any passes from Cape Verde's midfield up to any form of an attacking line immediately shut out by the Spanish team that are lingering and lying in wait. As Rodri now midway inside of the Cape Verde half, looking to lead by example. The highly experienced central midfielder, alongside many who feel that Pedri is the next coming effectively of Rodri in terms of comfort and confidence in the middle of the park on the ball, as Spain now have the ball just inside of the Cape Verde penalty area, but players scrambling back to win the ball well. shielding out and surrounding Ferran Torres as Lanini plays a ball up out of his own deep corner of the Cape Verde half on this near side. But Cape Verde, do they have a chance to potentially break away themselves? But far too late and laboured for Livramento, who was a good couple of yards offside. Borges just holding an arm up in apology. As Cape Verde looking to try and break away. It seems that the break is going to be very much on the cards for Babista and the Cape Verde team if they're going to find any way of breaching Spain's goal this afternoon. And that's far too easily given away, breaking up the right-hand side of the Cape Verde half there. As Cape Verde themselves, the problem is every time they break, they have no numbers upfield. They're also dropped back in defensive duties, and that's been given away. Spain with a chance now, edge of the area, and that's sailed over the bar. Poorly connected there again from Fabian Ruiz, head in hands, face grimaced. And again, Fabian Ruiz's opportunity not anywhere near the target. Lanini cheaply giving the ball away yet again. Something that must need to be improved on for Cape Verde is how often they're giving the ball away, and so cheaply too, inside of their own half. And you can't really say that they'd be punished by a more dangerous team because they're playing one of the most dangerous teams in the tournament this summer. But for Spain, you'd have to say the amount of chances that they've squandered, if they were going to be playing a more notably aggressive team, they would be getting punished right now. That must be cause for concern for De La Fuente. But Spain on the ball yet again, 10 yards inside of the Cape Verde half up the right-hand side. Pedri carrying the ball up towards that righter edge of the area. 1-2 back towards the byline. Pedri into the box, carrying a deflection, but Virginia, arms raised highest to get onto the ball himself. And when if there's going to be a man of the match, it's going straight towards the number one. As things stand at the moment here in Atlanta, this live audio coverage and live broadcasting available as well in the regions where you are located. And I'm glad you're joining me for this game that so far is throwing up a little bit of an upset as things stand. But there is plenty of time for all of that to change. As that's a cheap free kick given away there. Gavi looking to himself, wondering how he's the guilty party. As Ryan Mendes, the captain, wins a free kick midway inside of his own half on this nearer side of the field. And yes, if you were wondering, there are a large number of players playing in bright pink football boots. It seems to be the theme this summer, bright pink, whether it be Nike or Adidas. You name it, it will probably be pink. It was bright peach football boots in the season just gone 2025-2026, I noticed. That has been replaced, which what surely is going to be pink for the pink is the new black, as it were, or pink is the new peach. Not a black boot in sight these days in football. Gone are the days of the Copa Mundial. And again, cheaply given away as Spain look to come. Oh, and it's a feigned opportunity from the edge of the area from Oyarzabal, and only he will know if that was a shot or a cross. And he'll be praying that that was a shot and not a cross, because if that was a cross, it was nowhere near any of the Spanish players off the edge of the box. But Virginia scrambling back. Well, Ferran Torres was the only viable option on the further side of the box, but Oyarzabal's effort, that was a good 20 yards away from him. Ferran Torres, arms out wide, wondering why that ball didn't find him. Oyarzabal's face seemingly saying that he meant that to be a cross, but that one instead nearer to the near post of Virginia's goal than Ferran Torres in the centre of the box. As Cape Verde look to clear the ball out of their own half and into the Spanish one. Cucurella wrestling the ball away there from the captain Ryan Mendes. And he goes out instead for a Spanish throw-in midway inside of their own half. As we are nearing 10 minutes gone here in Atlanta in this second half. Goalless between Spain and Cape Verde. Saudi Arabia and Uruguay, that one is kicking off later on. Spain still continuing to mount serious pressure on Cape Verde in terms of time on the ball, opportunities when breaking into the final third. But that back line and sitting right in front of Virginia so far are causing so many issues for Spain. There are a number of Spanish players warming up now as the ball has been drilled in towards the box, but Virginia sits comfortably onto the ball played in from Ferran Torres. Gavi was lingering nearest to in the penalty area. But Virginia, once again, Mr. Reliable, 40-year-old man. Not the oldest goalkeeper, though, in this tournament. That does go towards Ryan Gordon of Scotland. And the ball now been played out, seemingly for an issue here. We're just looking to see exactly what's going on as the ball has been just played out for Cape Verde. As it looks like Jamiro Montero just currently needing to stretch out. Jovan Cabral, needing to stretch out an issue. And the referee now is ushering to the sideline. So with this, Cabral is going to have to wait a full minute before coming back onto the field. When Makhadmeh lets him back on, the Jordanian referee. The play now continuing with that throw-in, and the ball played out to this right-hand side. Morea threading a ball up towards Livramento, but Ine Simar coming across there to gather that ball up in his hands. First time I actually think that Unai Simon has had to pick up the ball with his hands in this game. And rightly so as well. Had to be quick off his mark there. Died on Livramento. A real turn of pace from the Cape Verde striker there, breaching the defensive line of Spain. As Rodri chips the ball up to this left-hand side of Cape Verde's half towards Cucurella. Back towards Pedri, as Pedri dinks the ball in towards the box. Oyarzabal, but no, can't quite guide it. Again, the other side of Virginia. That was Fabian Ruiz with the header. But Virginia again reading everything, and the frustrations must be ticking and growing ever more for Spain. But the man who plies his trade in the Portuguese second division for Gidi Chavez, still continuing to cause Spain real issues in breaching the Cape Verde goal. The oldest player in the squad, playing in the Portuguese second division, but most notably with AEL Limassol in Cyprus. Now in the world's biggest stage here in Atlanta, and really holding his own as it stands so far. Llorente midway inside the Cape Verde half, squared to the captain Rodri, dead centre of that half. With the ball out to the left-hand side, now whipped in towards the penalty area. Header one well there from Cabral. As again, Cape Verde need to be careful, and a wayward pass backward, but Virginia scrambling across just to clear the ball, clear his lines away from the byline. Spain take this throw in quickly enough to the captain Rodri, 10 yards off the right side of the box. Pedri, ball on the ground. Still Spain bringing pressure in towards the Cape Verde third. Laporte now with a shot from range from Laporte, catching a deflection, and that one going over the crossbar as well. Laporte face to the heavens, and I'm not sure how much longer De La Fuente can wait for this one, potentially, as we are nearing the hour mark of the game here. And you can sense the frustrations are growing, because more and more snapshots from range are creeping into this game, and we are going to need to see the first changes of the afternoon, and they are going to come by the way of Cape Verde. Looks like 3 players are going to be getting themselves ready to come on, as they still have a bit of work to do. Sending us again another poor pass out to the right as Ferran Torres picks up on the loose ball on the byline, played in towards the box, but a big foot in front from Borges, clearing the ball away for a corner. As again Cape Verde give the ball cheaply away inside of their own half. And you simply can't say that they'd be punished by a better team. They're playing one of the great teams and one of the expectant teams to be the biggest successor at the end of the tournament. But as it stands, it's still goalless, as that corner has been taken short. Spain with the ball, right edge of the box, low, drilled into the area, headed away. As Spain look to mount yet another pressure charge on the Cape Verde goal. But Llorente 1-2 back there with Fabian Ruiz. Ruiz inside towards Rodri, dead centre of the Cape Verde half, under pressure from surrounding players in Cape Verde white, still keeping the ball well. Livramento putting the pressure on, but Kabasi keeping the ball alive for Spain instead with a snap-filled ball to the right. Pedri, dead centre of the Cape Verde half, threaded ball up, but a wonderful slide tackle in, can't quite stop the danger though. Spain, ball in towards the box, and Virginia gets there, big hands in front of the head of Oyarzabal. His frustrations continuing to creep in. Cape Verde are poised and ready to make a number of changes. Still yet to see movement down seriously enough from De La Fuente, as we are seconds away from the 60th minute of the game here in Atlanta. Goalless between Spain and Cape Verde. This live audio coverage. The captain, Ryan Mendes, now carrying the ball towards the edge of the box, but a wonderful tackle from Gavi in from behind, as Rodri sends a cross-field ball from left to right. Sidney Cabral can't quite get there before, and Ferran Torres can instead. Cabral with a big foot in, and it's Sidney Borges keeping the ball alive, but can't stop the ball from going out for a Spanish corner. This one to be taken on the further side of the field. It was a wonderful long cross-field ball from Rodri for Ferran Torres to chase. But Dini Borges coming back, offering defensive duties instead of the 3 changes are now going to be made for Cape Verde. And the first of those coming off the field is Jovan Cabral. So Cabral's race has been run. He did pull up just moments ago as well, so an understandable change for that, as well as Daylon Livramento, yet another player to be coming off the field for Cape Verde, who's run a hard race this afternoon. And Laros Duarte, the third change to be made for Cape Verde this afternoon, being replaced by his brother Deroy Duarte, as well as Willy Semedo and Nuno da Costa. So Semedo, Duarte and da Costa on, as Spain play this corner inside. Virginia palming, parrying the ball away out of any sort of danger. Cucurella first time launching a ball up into the air, but Virginia carries that ball away himself instead. So yeah, Semedo, Duarte and da Costa on for Cabral, Duarte and Livramento. All very much like-for-like changes for Cape Verde. Nuno da Costa, who plays in Istanbul for Başakşehir in the Turkish Super League. 35 years of age, getting his way back into Cape Verde national team football after a 7-year gap. Can he be the man to lead Cape Verde to what would be a shock opportunity, as Spain play a long ball to the left edge of the area? Cucurella keeping the ball alive just about though. Rodri 1-2 back towards the captain, centre of the Cape Verde half, inside towards Pedre, confident with the ball at feet, jinking away from Cape Verde players, but a big interception in the way at the back there from Roberto Lopez. Still needing to be careful there was Ryan Mendes, just carrying the ball into a dangerous area himself. Cape Verde certainly do live on a knife edge in terms of allowing pressure to continue inside of their own first. As Morea now is going to get the countdown from the Jordanian referee to take this throw in as quickly as he possibly can. 1 more second remaining, but Morea now to throw the ball away in time. The punishment is the throw-in does go to the other team, and you do not want to give a throw-in there to Spain. But immediately giving the ball away under that pressure of the referee's countdown, as Laporte now midway inside of the Cape Verde half to this nearer left-hand side of the field. 1-2 back towards Laporte. He's got Pedri to the left and finds Pedri. Pedri, ball on the deck towards Kabasi, squared to the right-hand side of the penalty area. Llorente into the box, but a big interception still yet to be dealt with from Cape Verde, as Semedo gets his first touch on the ball since coming onto the field here in Atlanta. And a ball looking to be threaded up yet again, but Montero sliding in, putting a big foot in front, stopping that ball being played up to try and unlock Cape Verde's defence. Crossfield into towards the left edge of the area. Cucurella low into the box. Can Gavi get there first? But a big interception in the way there from Morea, as the captain Ryan Mendes looks to clear the ball away himself. But given the nature of this game and how Cape Verde have set themselves up, there is not a single player further upfield. Nuno da Costa, the lone striker, but almost playing in as a central midfielder. The Spain once again plenty of time on the ball, in particular in the Cape Verde half. Pedri, dead centre of the Cape Verde half, plays a ball on the deck towards Llorente up the further right hand side. Short towards the captain Rodri squared back instead towards Llorente, with Fabian Ruiz coming back in offer of support towards Laporte himself. Spain with the ball 15 yards from the Cape Verde penalty area, passing the ball around but under pressure for the resilient wall of Cape Verde, but the ball, that long ball played forward, not quite finding the intended target of Mikel Oyarzabal and going out for a Cape Verde goal kick instead. As we are into the 20th minute of the second half here, still goalless between Spain and Cape Verde. 3 changes made for the Atlantic Ocean Island team. And they so far are staring down the barrel of what is a truly remarkable and memorable first experience here on the world's biggest stage. Spain now, the referee stopping play, seems to be of head collision right in the centre of the Spanish half. Nuno da Costa just coming together. Just wait to see who it is for Spain that is going to be helped back up to their feet. This is actually Aymeric Laporte, who seems to be okay at the moment, just checking his nose, feeling a full-blooded connection there with the new man on the field in Nuno da Costa. Both players just going for the ball, eyes on the ball as well. Da Costa, rightly so, arms out wide. There was no intention with that, but surely that one is going to hurt. Catching the bridge of the nose of Laporte. Spain now with the ball, yet again inside the Cape Verde half, but nothing to show for it in terms of a scoreline. Pedri looking for Cucurella long. Again, marshalled brilliantly from Morea. Rodri inside towards Pedri, the two central midfielders for Spain, trying to find those connecting passes to break the resilience of Cape Verde's defensive line. Cucurella short towards Rodri, squared inside. Those Spanish passes continuing to add up and up and up. But the goal yet to be breached as Kabasi plays the ball up towards the edge of the area, drilled towards Ferran Torres. As Montero shields the ball away, sending the ball long up the left-hand side of the field and straight out for a Spanish throw-in, just inside of their own half, up the further side of the field. Llorente throws quickly infield. Spain look to come yet again, continuing to look for answers to the questions that are seemingly not being responded to. Cucurella, short to the left edge of the box. 1-2 back towards the big head, soon potentially to be Madrid man. And I'm sure that Jose Mourinho is keeping a close eye on proceedings as well. But it's Kabasi, dead centre of the Cape Verde half, up to the right edge of the area towards Fabian Ruiz. 1-2 with Llorente. Fabian Ruiz growing in frustrations in this game. Champions League winner with Paris Saint-Germain just weeks ago. Frustrated here by Cape Verde. Spain still plenty of time on the ball here. The captain Rodri, 10 yards from the left corner of the box. Played again towards Pedri, the two of them combining still. Fabian Ruiz just off the right edge of the area, laid up towards Llorente, surrounded by two players from Cape Verde, but still they continue to come. Wonderful pass towards Llorente, but an excellent interception from behind. Can Cape Verde this time clear their lines efficiently enough as Cabral runs into danger himself and plays the ball out for a Spanish corner? Serious pressure continuing to mount. All eyes will turn to the referee to see when this next hydration break is going to come. He does check his watch. They are under the referee's discretion to come in from between the 20th and the 25th minute of either half, as we are now at the exact halfway point of this second half. Corner now being taken to the near post. Virginia clambering onto the ball, dropping the ball in the process and winning a free kick as he looked to win the ball under the pressure from the captain Rodri. And we are now going to see, after this hydration break, it looks like Lamine Yamal is getting ready to come onto the field as Virginia is still down at the moment as he clambered to get onto that ball that he dropped initially from the corner. Rodri looking to get there first, just putting pressure under Virginia in the box. And the hydration break is now being seen too. Both sets of players making their way towards their respective dugouts to take on board definitely more than just water. Still a criticism amongst a number of people, but Lamine Yamal is very much ready to go down there as we await to see who he's going to be replacing after the hydration break is finished. 72% possession to just the 28 for Cape Verde. 18 shots for Spain, 5 of which on target, but none of which yet to breach Virginia. 560 completed passes as well for Spain. 604 attempted. I mean, the stats are telling a completely different story to the scoreline, as always is the case. Just 175 completed passes from Cape Verde. And if you have to pick any flaws in Cape Verde's performance so far, it's the ease of which they give the ball away when clearing the ball from defence towards midfield. Sometimes the ball not even getting beyond halfway outside of their own half. So with that, monumental praise and credit has to go towards the defensive four and the goalkeeper for Cape Verde. Virginia seemingly okay after feeling that full connection from Rodri right before the hydration break was called. Lamine Yamal just receiving some last minute instructions down there on the touchline as we await to see exactly who he will be replacing. With both sets of teams now slowly making their way back into formation. The best chance of the game by far in the first half, Ferran Torres hitting the crossbar and Oyarzábal's looping header palmed over the bar by Virginia just seconds after. Cape Verde yet to have a serious chance on Unai Simon's target. We are also going to see Mikel Merino coming on for Spain, so a double substitution about to be made for De La Fuente. And it is going to be Fabian Ruiz coming off in place of Mikel Merino, so the two opposition players in the Champions League final just weeks ago, now teammates in the national side, and it is going to be Gavi coming off as well. Gavi very much a quiet customer this evening here in Atlanta as Lamine Yamal, the 18-year-old wonder kid sensation, enters the field and enters the tournament for the first time. Is his first taste of the world's biggest stages, and I'm sure that there will be many more opportunities for him. But he makes his first appearance in this tournament here in Atlanta against Cape Verde, and what he would give to give Spain the lead here this afternoon. As it is Yamal's first touch on the ball up that further right hand side, already confident with the ball at feet, looking to attack Cabral on the left hand side of the field as he now comes yet again, resilient pace, finding a short ball inside towards Merino for his first touch. Pedri up towards Cucurella, 5 yards off of the penalty area, coming back in energetic support though there was Nuno da Costa. As Cape Verde live to fight yet another day into the final 20 minutes, of course the minimum 3 will be added at the end of this half. So Cape Verde are now at least 21 minutes away from what would surely be one of the most historic results in their history, almost alongside that victory against Cameroon, as well as that victory against Ewestahini that booked their place here. This one would surely rank up alongside that, given the nature of the beast that they are tackling here in Atlanta. As Lamine Yamal already looking confident on the ball, always going to be a significant threat for no matter which team that has to face. And that's a wonderful short ball towards Llorente, in towards the box, and low, but not convincing enough of an opportunity or a connection on the ball whatsoever. As Virginia again comfortably gathers the ball up at his feet. Spain yet again another chance squandered for the heavy tournament favourites. This live audio coverage here from Atlanta, Spain 0, Cape Verde 0, also available via your local broadcasting channels. This live audio coverage of what is Somar proving to be a frustrating stalemate for the giants of Europe against the plucky volcanic island nation off the western coast of Africa. So far holding their own against the likes of players that ply their trades for the world's biggest clubs. As that's a ball played into the box, Lopez gets the header in the way first though, but Cucurella first to get onto the ball, headed back though instead to the comfort and space of Laporte. And Laporte 1-2 now back towards Laporte as he sends a ball in towards the edge of the penalty area, but intercepted by Sidney Lopez Cabral, sending the ball long again. Isolated figure of Nuno da Costa. Spain coming once more, ball chipped up to the right edge of the box towards Lamine Yamal, keeping the ball alive. Some of them thought he might have been offside, but the assistant on the side, his flag is still down. Pedri off the edge of the area, turning on a dime away from bright white shirts, and yet again they just can't clear the ball away, and in doing so it's almost a half attempted effort just to clear the ball away, allowing Spain even more time on the ball inside of their own half. Rodri, the captain, centre of the Cape Verde half, threads a wonderful ball up towards Ferran Torres, edge of the area with the shot, but a big body in the way from Dini Borges. The two centre-backs again proving a real cause for concern, as they've just announced the official figure of attendance here. Just over 67,500 here in this 71,500 seater stadium in Atlanta, home of the Atlanta Falcons in the NFL. The ball looking to be threaded up for Lamine Yamal, but read again brilliantly from Dini Borges. Still Cape Verde with plenty of work to do defensively, and winning a free kick for their trouble. Mikel Merino just going in through the back of Kevin Lanini. So those two changes made for Spain recently, and another change to be made here for Cape Verde, soon to be coming in. And it is going to be João Paulo who looks to be coming on now in place of Sidney Cabral. Cabral, who is on a yellow card, the only player on a yellow card as well. So Sidney Lopez Cabral, who's worked hard, and now fresh legs to face the quite daunting task of Lamine Yamal. João Paulo plays for FCSB in Romania. Does play as a defensive midfielder, but more so as a fullback for Babista and Cape Verde. He has the task ahead of him for the final 18 or so minutes of this game to stop Lamine Yamal. Yamal now on the ball up that right-hand edge of the area, with João Paulo shielding to and forcing a ball backwards. Ball launched into the air in towards the Cape Verde box. Moreira heading the ball away under pressure, as Montero heads the ball further still, but straight towards the Spanish has been the formation and the formality of this game all long. As Cucurella squares back instead towards Spanish players, in coming back in Laporte, carrying the ball towards the byline on this left-hand side in the corner of the field. But a wonderful tackle from Nuno da Costa, coming back to offer defensive support, but again cheaply given away for Cape Verde, still having to deep in defence. Rodri, left edge of the area towards Cucurella, touch towards Ferran Torres, Torres in towards Oyarzabal, but Cape Verde again pumping the ball long, high into the Atlanta areas. Kevin Lanini. Anywhere but the box seems to be the attitude for Cape Verde this afternoon. Rodri, cross-field ball to the left-hand side of the penalty area towards Cucurella, with one touch down, squared inside towards Pedri. Pedri stood on the ball, just slowing things down before cross-field on the deck towards Llorente, and further out still towards Lamine Yamal. Looking to breach now the right edge of the box towards Llorente. Ferran Torres, big tackle, edge of the area, Pedri, and a big interception again there from Dini Borges. The two centre-backs continuing to work their socks off here for Cape Verde. Llorente, 10 yards from the left side of the penalty area, squared inside. And now Spain with the ball yet again with the captain Rodri. Serious pressure and work rate this from Cape Verde, just holding such a stoic formation in front of their own area and inside of the box. As Cucurella looks to get the ball away from the captain Ryan Mendes, and again nearly cheaply giving the ball away. Cape Verde need to be careful. Ball deep inside of their own half, and again given away, but Cucurella swiping the ball back towards Laporte. As Laporte dinks a ball up cutely towards Pedri. Pedri carrying the ball in towards the centre and cross-field towards Llorente, midway inside of the Cape Verde half. On the deck, on the right-hand side of the field towards Lamine Yamal, carrying the ball towards the byline and the left edge of the area. That one's broken loose, and a big interception from Dini Borges, just getting there ahead of Oyarzabal. But couldn't quite find his way in front there, the Sociedad man. Lamine Yamal already seems an inspiring change, but we are going to see the fifth and final change of the afternoon for Cape Verde. And it is going to be Jaimiro Montero coming off. Montero's worked his socks off as well in the middle of the park, and he was being replaced by Telmo Arcanho. So Arcanho, another one of the players that plies their trade in Portugal, Spanish-speaking nation of Cape Verde. All 5 changes now made for Babista, but this corner to be taken, swung in towards the near post, headed away at that near post by Dini Borges, but Cucurella heading back into a dangerous area. Vorginha with a punch, he can't quite get there. Still they scramble to keep the ball alive. Spain do that, just that, to the left edge of the area, chipped across the face of the box, and it's cleared away with the header. That one's going to bounce out instead. It looks to go out for a throw-in. Spain continuing to mount the pressure as we're approaching the final 10 minutes of the regulation 90. Unbelievable defensive work rate this from Cape Verde. Spain continuing to be frustrated by the side 67th in the world. Pedri squared towards Llorente, 10 yards from the right side of the box. As Marino plays the ball back towards Lamine Yamal, who seems to be working brilliantly already since coming on. Boy, they would have wished they would have had him from the off, because this scoreline might not be 0-0. But Cape Verde are working everything in their power to ensure that it remains just that as things stand right now. Cucurella squared in field towards Kabasi, dead centre of the Cape Verde half. All the players back inside of their own full. Bird ball played into the box but cleared away from Cape Verde instead. Still they come yet again, Spain. This a classic David and Goliath situation, with the ball threaded up towards the right edge of the area, towards Lamine Yamal. All eyes to the referee to see which way his decision is going to go there, as it was João Paulo wrestling alongside of Lamine Yamal, just getting a big foot in front. João Paulo feeling that had come off of Lamine Yamal. But we are going to see yet another change for Spain, and it is going to be Dani Olmo coming on for Ferran Torres. So Ferran Torres off for Dani Olmo, that bright bleached blonde hair coming onto the field. This corner yet to be taken, and the referee actually changing from a VAR decision to a goal kick. Being informed by VAR, that's one of the new VAR enforcements here, that they can change the decision for a corner being given, but not if it's given as a goal kick. So it's only if a corner is given, not if a goal kick is given. And that rule there just enforced into the final 10 minutes here in Atlanta. This live audio coverage of Spain, Cape Verde, goalless between the two of them here in the big tournament here on the eastern side of the United States. This game also available via your local broadcasting station as well. As the Spanish now send the ball out to the right, looking for the ever-present threat of Lamine Yamal. Wonderful jink touch to break away from João Paulo, but an excellent interception from Didi Borges instead. Himself, Roberto Lopez and Virginia, so far, well, their teammates are going to be having to reward them greatly if it remains 0-0. But there is still plenty of time for that to change, as the captain Rodri sprays the ball out to the right towards Llorente, furthest towards Lamine Yamal, in towards the box, headed towards Cucurella, at the back post, header down, but a poor header there from Cucurella, down towards Virginia. Cucurella, head slapping the forehead of his. He can't quite believe that the header, I can't believe the header as well. No wonder he palmed the front of his forehead. Plenty of space and time on the ball at that back post, but his header, no real power whatsoever. And again, another chance squandered for Spain to break the deadlock here in Atlanta. João Paulo going down, holding his face there from Lamine Yamal. It's going to be a free kick for Cape Verde, just inside of the Spanish half, on the further side of the field. I said there will be 3 minutes of time minimum added on. That we know of for the hydration break, and as it stands then, there will be at least 10 minutes of this game to go. Cape Verde 10 minutes away from a truly historic scoreline. Ball looped into the box, but Unai Simon coming to gather that one up himself, telling the team to remain calm. Still plenty of time to go. It only takes a second to score a goal. But so far they've wasted 83 minutes worth of seconds to breach the Cape Verde goal. As Spain come yet again here with Laporte, played out towards Cucurella, midway inside the Cape Verde half, played back towards the Bilbao man. As the two centre-backs combining, now playing in towards Pedri, Llorente, midway inside that Cape Verde half up the right-hand channel. With Lamine Yamal on the ball just 5 yards from the right edge of the area, played aggressively up towards Llorente. Cape Verde looking to keep the ball alive, and Llorente can't keep the ball in play, going out for a Cape Verde throw-in up the left-hand side of the field. De La Fuente down there, almost holding a praying-like gesture towards his face. Got to say, even the Cape Verde fans in the corner here have not stopped all game long, and rightly so as well, because their team have put in a truly heroic performance this afternoon in Atlanta as Dani Olmo plays a ball off towards the edge of the area towards Moreno. But Cape Verde clear the ball away yet again, but only as far as Spanish red shirts. Laporte midway inside the Cape Verde half, chipping a ball out to the right edge of the box, but Yamal can't quite get there. Joao Paulo's header heading the ball out for a Spanish throw-in. As the minutes tick nearer and nearer to the 90th, where we see how much time is going to be added at the end of this game. Cucurella, left edge of the box, played into the area towards Olmo, but just wide. Snapshot from range, but far too wayward there. Spanish fans are growing less and less excited as the minutes tick on. Rodri with a poor effort. Almost so with the Spanish fans that whenever they see themselves appear on the large screens here in Atlanta, they don't wave at the screen, or they don't get a phone out to take a picture of this moment. They look completely dumbfounded that they are still held to a goalless scoreline here. But whenever the camera catches a Cape Verde fan, they're almost in raptures, falling through the screen itself. And they will have even more reason to do so if this scoreline remains come the full-time whistle. Rodri off the edge of the centre circle, inside of the Cape Verde half towards Laporte. On the deck towards Dani Olmo. 10 yards from the left edge of the area. Squared ball inside towards the captain. Back towards Olmo now. He's got Cucurella out to the left edge of the box. Squared inside towards Rodri, the captain. Rodri finding Cucurella, a yard off the left corner of the penalty area. Back towards Laporte, feigning a ball into the box. Cape Verde still holding their defensive shape. Pedri on the deck out towards Lamine Yamal, 5 yards from the right edge of the area, looking to feign a ball in towards the box. There, but a big interception instead from Duarte. One brother replacing another for Cape Verde today. And a brilliant interception as a ball has been played up there for Cape Verde to try and break away with Willy Semedo. Llorente coming back in support, clearing the ball out for a Cape Verde throw-in on the halfway line up the further side of the field. All 5 changes have been made for Cape Verde, as we're now going to see another change for Spain, as yet another of their exciting young talents, Nico Williams, is ready to enter the fray for the captain, Rodri. De La Fuente now looking to throw everything he possibly can at Cape Verde, and Nico Williams is a player that can do just that. The man born in Pamplona, the land of the running of the bull. Well, they will need him to run as aggressively as that if they're going to get anything out of this game here today in Atlanta. Cape Verde holding on to a truly spectacular and memorable result in their history. 1978 they were formed as a football team. Since 1975 their independence from Portugal. And can they hold on to yet another momentous moment in their history? But that's a long ball played up towards Olmo, right edge of the area. Olmo inside towards Oyarzabal, but a big interception there from Roberto Lomez, celebrating wildly that he got a big body in front of Oyarzabal in towards the box. Brilliantly marshalled there from the Shamrock Rovers centre-back, born in Dublin, putting the pressure off from Oyarzabal, sending that ball over the bar with an interception. And this corner to be taken on the right-hand side from Lamine Yamal, right-footed. Played short, though, instead towards the right edge of the area. Played back out towards the talented youngster. Low, driven ball in towards the box. Cape Verde clearing the ball away. It's all hands to the defensive pump for the Blue Sharks. Roberto Lopez heading the ball away, and further still from Joao Paulo, high into the Atlanta air. Joao Paulo picks up on that ball and sends it up the right-hand channel, but straight towards the bright blonde-haired Dani Olmo, carrying the ball underfoot, midway inside of the Cape Verde half. And a poor wayward pass from Dani Olmo out to the right, going out for a Cape Verde throw-in. All of the Spanish players frustrated at themselves. Olmo felt that that was going to be a throw-in for them. As we are now just over a minute away from seeing how much time is going to be added by the 4th official. It will be at least 3 for the hydration break. Spain currently goalless with Cape Verde. Cape Verde holding on for a ginormous scoreline in their history, but still with plenty of time to play. And Spain are always on the prowl and on the attack. as Lamine Yamal plays a laboured ball inside, straight towards Nuno da Costa, looking to send a ball long up the left-hand side of the field for a potential counter here for Cape Verde. Willy Semedo breaking to the left edge of the area. There's an options in the box, but Semedo comes back instead. Going back, a shot from range. That is a shot, and it's just gone wide. Always sailing wide there from the captain, Ryan Mendes. The Cape Verde fans are in absolute raptures down below. They are in the most jubilant of moods, a stark contrast to that of the Spanish fans in the standing surrounds. It's Kevin with the shot there. It was from range, coming off of Dani Olmo, going out for a corner as the 90th minute is about to be hit. This corner to be taken from Arancio on this left-hand side, left-footed ball, swung into the box. Could this be the madness of the moment? To the back post, headed down, but Unai Simon gathers on that ball instead. Cape Verde's first attempt on the target comes on the 90th minute as Spain look to counter themselves. Nico Williams breaking away with his pace, and Virginia just comes and gathers that ball up instead. Wonderfully guided there from Moira. And there are going to be 5 minutes of time added on minimum at the end of this game. Dini Borges with the header right on target, but Unai Simon straight down the throat of the Athletic Club goalkeeper. Their first attempt on the target. What a moment that would have been. Their bench nearly running onto the field, but Spain now coming up the left-hand side. Cucurella laid off to Williams, back towards Cucurella, driven low into the box, but a big interception yet again there from Dini Borges. Him and Roberto Lopez continuing to be the ever-present wall for Cape Verde in front of their goal, alongside Virginia. 1 minute of the 5 now played. It is going to be a corner for Spain. All of the Cape Verde players are up on their feet off the edge of the dugout, praying and praying for the minutes to tick towards 95. Pedri to the near post, headed away by Roberto Lopez, only as far as Cucurella. Cucurella back instead towards Llorente, as Llorente plays the ball across to the left-hand side of the field towards Pedri. Pedri squared. All the players dropping back here for Cape Verde. Lamine Yamal from range, but a poor effort, catching Marino instead, as Cape Verde look to break away themselves on the counter, potentially having the chance to do that, but it's a poor ball played out from Nuno dos Santos. Cucurella getting a big ball in front, as the Cape Verde players have been told to get back inside of their dugout by the fourth official. Spain come again, midway inside the Cape Verde half. Lamine Yamal cutting back towards Dani Olmo. Dani Olmo squared in the middle towards Pedri. Cucurella's out wide on the left in plenty of space, being found off the left at the edge of the area. And the ball played back instead towards Pedri, turning away. 2 minutes of the 5 gone. Every single second must feel like a minute for those Cape Verde players and fans. Pedri squared to the centre towards Kabasi and out towards Lamine Yamal. Right edge of the box. Lamine Yamal cutting in towards the byline. João Paulo with a big foot in front. Still Lamine Yamal comes, turning, looking to take on the FCSB man. Played on the edge of the area as Spain look to try and capitalise, but Cape Verde get a big ball in a body in front as they break away. Caught from behind. That's going to be a free kick for Cape Verde, just off of their own centre circle. Pedri receiving a yellow card for his troubles, as we are continuing to tick nearer and nearer towards what is going to be, what could be the shock result of this tournament. Cape Verde, 67th in the world against Spain, hot favourites by everyone before this tournament, second in the world. As it stands, they are level, and they are 2 minutes away from a truly historic scoreline. Cape Verde, 10 volcanic islands off of the West African coast in the Atlantic Ocean, holding their own against the giants of Spain. Cape Verde looking to do everything they can to scramble onto a ball and get time on the ball themselves. Willy Semedo shielding the ball inside of his own half, played up towards Arancio. Wonderful play there from Arancio, breaking away from Romino. Excellent footwork as well. Played in the centre towards Ryan Mendes, midway inside of the Spanish half, looking to have a shot from range, and he does, but it goes well wide of the target from the captain. That one a laboured effort just to have a go to see what could potentially happen. These Cape Verde fans, all on their feet, have been all game long, cannot quite believe it, as we are now ready to enter the final minute of the 5 minutes minimum. Played up towards Nico Williams, midway inside the Cape Verde half. Cucurella making a run up the left, 5 yards from the edge of the area, ball into the box, but a big interception again from Roberto Lopez, the man born in Dublin, playing for Cape Verde, receiving that LinkedIn invitation to play for Cape Verde. Seconds away now from a historic result as Lamine Yamal has the ball. 10 yards from the right edge of the area, in towards the box, but headed away by Sidney Borges. But that's been laid off straight towards Lamine Yamal in the area. Deflection, and that one's going to go out for a corner. This now surely might be the last chance of the game for Spain if they're going to get themselves a victory. Cape Verde have worked themselves into the Atlanta turf here. As numbers all come back in white, all of the squad for Cape Verde in the penalty area. It's going to be Lamine Yamal. He's got an option near. 5 Spanish red shirts. Lamine Yamal in towards the box, headed to the back post, and that one goes wide, and that one goes out for a goal kick as we are now just seconds away from the referee blowing his whistle. It's Spain 0, Cape Verde 0. All eyes are on the referee from Jordan, and there goes the referee's whistle. It is a truly historic day in Cape Verde football. They have held Spain, number 2 in the world, hot favourites to lift the trophy in New York on July the 19th. They have been held to a 0-0 scoreline here by the tiny island nation, the second smallest nation in terms of land size to ever enter the tournament, third smallest in terms of population. And those Cape Verde fans down to the right-hand side here in Atlanta are in absolute raptures. The Spanish fans in muted applause for their players on the field. The Cape Verde players hugging one another, falling to their knees in prayer. They have pulled off a truly historic scoreline here in Atlanta this afternoon. It has finished Spain 0, Cape Verde 0. Uruguay and Saudi Arabia kicking off later on in this group today. But Cape Verde hold their heads high. Their first ever game on the world's biggest stage, and understandably, all of their players crowd around Borges, Lopez, and in particular, Voisinha in tears on the field. A true hero for Cape Verde this afternoon. Spain 0, Cape Verde 0. A truly historic moment for the West African island nation. Thank you all so very, very much for listening, and I hope you all enjoy the rest of the tournament and have a very good week ahead. Thank you very much.